Hi friends, a very warm welcome back to our channel. I'm Chanda Mama. This is your Chanda Mama bringing you a new story today. The title of the story is Under a Curse. As the sun sank behind the wooded hills, Ganesh rose from beneath the great banyan tree where he was watching his goats grazing on the grass around. With him was Gheru, his best pal, who accompanied him on his daily exercise of grazing the goats. Dusting the seat of his pajamas and fastening his towel round his waist, Ganesha began gathering his goats. It was time to return home. As he herded the flock homewards, his eyes caught a sight of 5 monkeys frolicking in a grove of mango tree, some distance away towards the hills. After romping playfully on the trees for a while, the monkeys moved away towards the hills. Ganesh now made for home along with Gheru and his flock of goats. Where did they come from? Ganesh wondered. No one in the village knew exactly from where the monkeys had come. They did not come there regularly. Sometimes for days there would be no signs of them. Then all of a sudden they appeared, making havoc with the crops and the villagers' household things and charging at those who tried to stop their orgy. On being chased away by the villagers, they simply vanished from the sight. With a golden tail and the rest of the body as white as snow, the monkeys seemed denizens of another world. Never had such monkeys been seen in the village until one day, not long ago, they suddenly appeared from nowhere. Although the villagers considered themselves fortunate to see unusually looking monkeys, it pained them immensely when they wrought the havoc on the crops whenever they descended on their village. They had become so much of a pest that one day the village chief ordered his men to do away with them by offering them food spiked with poison. How can the chief be so cruel and inhuman? Ganesh felt deeply stirred when the news broke. Like many others, he too was not happy at all with the monkeys for what they did every time they appeared. But being very kind-hearted, he could never even imagine such an inhuman punishment meted out to them for their acts. Next morning, as Ganesh herded his flock for grazing, he considered what he could do to save their lives. This matter occupied his mind the whole day and several ideas came to his mind, but none of them seemed practical. In the evening, as the sun began setting, Ganesh got up from beneath the banyan tree, where as usual he sat tending his goats grazing around. As he herded his flock homewards, he again caught sight of the monkeys romping their way hillwards through the mango orchard. Today I'll surely discover their abode, he resolved, and asked Gheru to lead the goats back home. He dashed off hillwards. While following the monkeys, Ganesha was careful enough not to come too close to the monkeys, lest they notice him and attack him. Traversing the wooded hills and the groves of the trees and the orchards, the monkeys finally reached the mouth of an old cavern and halted. Seeing them halting, Ganesha quickly hid behind a grassy mound nearby and curiously waited for their next move. Suddenly, to his utter astonishment, they started metamorphosing into humans. With mouth wide agape as he watched the mystery unfolding before his eyes, a terrible sneeze escaped his mouth and nostrils, which made the monkeys now turned into Gandharvas, the celestial beings. Aware of the presence somewhere nearby of a human, together they named their heads towards the sound, and in no time at all, Ganesha found himself surrounded by them. Who are you, boy? Where have you come from? What on earth are you doing here? Bellowed one of them. Answer the questions truthfully, or else, growled another, eyes glaring. Trembling with fear, Ganesh stood speechless. He had no option but to respond. With all the courage he could muster, he told them all that they wanted to know from him. He also told them about the village chief having ordered his men to kill them and about his intention to do something to help to save their lives. No sooner had Ganesh concluded than he noticed that the look of ferocity on their faces gave way to one of love and affection for him. "Tell us, what should we do to save our lives?" asked one of them, flinging an affectionate arm around Ganesh's shoulder. After some careful thought, Ganesh replied, "Ensure that none of you harms anyone or damages anything in the village whenever you go there. That we cannot ensure, for once we turn monkeys, we lose control over our behaviors," they said in one voice. "Then ensure that you do not go there ever again." "Yes, that we can do," they chorused. "By the way, how come you all change into humans? What's behind all this?" asked Ganesh. "Actually," one of them began, "we are all Gandharvas, having our abode in a celestial region. We come down to earth once in a while to feast our eyes on nature's beauty. Once we happened to alight in a wooded area towards noon. We were very thirsty as well as hungry, so we started looking for a place where we could get some water and something to eat. While searching, we came across a hermitage. The hermit was not present, nor was anyone else around there. We were so thirsty and hungry that we could not wait for the hermit to return. We entered the hut and found both water and eatables. Having satiated ourselves, we broke into revelry. In the process, we caused considerable damage to the hermitage, his garden, and even his hut. While we were making merry, the hermit returned. He enacted into a fury, and without asking us anything, he administered this curse. Like monkeys, you Gandharvas have played havoc with my place, so all of you will change into monkeys at the break of dawn tomorrow. You will remain monkeys till dusk. Afterwards, you will change into Gandharvas." The hermit, with his superhuman powers, had instantly recognized us as celestial beings. We all pleaded with him to show mercy on us. Our pleadings melted his heart. He said he didn't have the power to revoke the curse. He asked us to give a pledge that we would never do anything wrong again in our lives. We gave the promise, whereupon he threw his hands skywards, shut his eyes, and murmured something, and then said, "Now you are partly free from the curse. Its influence will last for 1 year, after which you had be able to return to your own world and lead your lives as before." Exactly as the hermit had told us, next day at dawn we turned monkeys. Since then, after wandering here and there, we returned to the cave at dusk, when we regain our original forms. When night falls, we go inside the cave. This is how we have been living our lives ever since. How many days are still left for the curse to cease, to have its effect? 3 months. So don't come to my village till then, if you wish to stay alive, said Ganesh. Yes, we won't, they all promised in one voice. You have done us a great favor by warning us, for which we owe you a great debt of gratitude. Come here at dusk at the end of 3 months, when we will be free from the curse. You will find us awaiting you, said one of them. Why do you want me to come here? Asked Ganesh curiously. That I'll tell only then. Don't forget to turn up. You should be better be returning home now. Don't mention this all to any of your village mates. The monkeys were not seen in the village anymore. The villagers did notice that they suddenly stopped coming to the village. Ganesh kept absolutely silent about the whole incident. Days rolled by and the time came when Ganesha was to show up to the cave. He found the monkeys waiting there. It's time we returned the favor you did for us, said one of the Gandharvas, greeting him with a warm smile on his face. We wish to present you with something in gratitude for your help. Now, don't refuse to accept it. His head He held his hand on an oval stone, a brilliant blue, transparent and radiant. This is no ordinary stone. It is endowed with magical powers. It will grant you whatever you wish for. But the moment it will land in anyone's hands, you will it will lose its power and turn into an ordinary stone, he said, handing the stone to Ganesha. Needless to add, the magic stone changed the lives of Ganesh and his family, of course, for the better. The villagers never came to know what happened with the monkeys, or for that matter, why all of a sudden they stopped going there. So this was the story Under a Curse, published in the Chandamama magazine for you guys. So till I come back with a new video and a new episode with a new story, till then stay safe and take care. This is your Chandamama signing off from your favorite channel. I am Chandamama. Thank you.